Hi, my name is Laurelee, and this is It's Not About Food. So it's not about food, and it's not about weight. What is it about? Everything else, because it's never ever about food or weight, never ever, not even one time, not ever, ever, ever. Hi, my name is Laurelee Roark. I'm one of the founders of Beyond Hunger and also the co-creator of the Body Love cards, which is what we're talking about today is one of the cards for It's Not About Food podcast. And just as a reminder, especially this time of year, it is never about food. It is never about your weight. It is never, ever, ever about either of those things. Not ever, not even one time. So what we're talking about today is acceptance. And the front of the card is the goddess has her arm around the deer, her power animal, and she's sitting on a beach, and there's waves behind her, and it looks to me like she just has to kind of accept that it is what it is, that she's sitting here and she's at the ocean, and there is an ocean, and she's there. But what the card says is acceptance means to honor and respect our body and ourself exactly as we are right now in this moment. When we step into acceptance, we stop struggling and fighting, and we begin to make peace with ourselves. This empowers our body and ourself to be who we really are in this moment. It takes us out of the obsession of wanting to be different and allows us to be more present with ourselves and therefore better able to meet our needs. I think about this card and I use it for a lot of different things because everything is about acceptance. I have a good friend who just died, and I had to accept that she was sick, and I had to accept that she was going to die of that illness, and now I'm in the acceptance that she did die. And there's all millions of kinds of reasons and feelings and thoughts that I have about the whole thing, but really it comes down to I accept that she's gone, and that is that. And I don't have to worrying about trying to make a deal and bring her back, or who was at fault, or what happened, and who should I talk to, and who should I sue about that she's dead. I just have to accept that she is and make peace with that. And I've used that with my body and my food and my dog and my life and my family. It's all about acceptance. So I am so, so, so happy to have my good friend Paula with me today talking about acceptance. We've known each other a long time. We've seen each other go through complete acceptance after complete denial. So I'm really happy she's here. And I'm going to let her talk about what she's doing here and what she's doing these days. And so go for it, Paula.
Hey, Laurelee. Hey, everyone. I picked acceptance because basically, for a long time, it seems like I have not been in acceptance. I've gone through phases of great acceptance, and which usually come after lots and lots of inner struggle and fighting with my own self and the outside world. So I know what it's like to feel like in acceptance, and I know it's possible, and it brings so much more peace and calm and just inner peace and calm. And that's something that I really value is feeling like, okay, everything's okay. And I know that I use my eating disorder to feel at peace and calm. Like, if I had a binging, purging episode, I would feel peaceful and calm after that. But then, of course, how long did that last before the voices came in and told me I was a fat, which fat isn't bad, but in my mind it was a fat piece of crap, and then on and on and on. So
yes,
that's, now it's like, how do I find peace and calm now. And it's usually when I do accept. And that's just, I have to be honest, that's not like, it hasn't been my strong point in my life. And I'm learning to accept right now that, that I'm trying to accept that, okay, that's just kind of how you were, that's kind of what you learned how to do. And that's in your, from trauma and stuff that,
Yeah.
you can't just make yourself accept when you're not accepting. So
No.
how do you accept that? And that's, I think a step for me is to just remember that,
Yeah.
because I have all these, all these goals. It's like, well, I need to be accepting and I need to be trusting, and it's better to be this way and that way. And so I can feel better. So I better do that, make myself do that now. And it's like, that's not accepting right where you are. So right where I am right now is, especially with the holidays upon us and having my father, my aging father, I live with him, and I have a hard time accepting that he's on the decline and all these other things going on, right?
Right.
And I just, have to keep coming back to like, this is hard, and I'm just trying to accept that it's hard. And but honestly, I don't know how well I am accepting. And I pray, or my intention is to like be okay with myself even when I'm not accepting.
Yes.
If there is a way to do that, right?
Right. Well, I love the idea of you can hold two things at the same time: accept something and not like it. I mean, I accept that I am the age I am, and my knees are screwed up, and I can't, climb the top of Half Dome like we attempted to a few years ago. I can accept that. I do not like that. I want to do that. I want to do what I want to do. Right. So we think it's either or. Like we get really black and white. Like if I accept that, that means I like it and this is the way it is and it's never going to change. But that's not it. Right. And I also like the idea of a radical acceptance. It is what it is. And I just always add right now, because as we all know, everything changes all the time.
So true.
Yeah. So tell me how you are going through acceptance with, you've been recovered for a long, long time. And if it comes back up, how do you go, okay, that's that thought. And I accept that I didn't get a lobotomy. I'm just having thoughts.
Well, as far as my recovery from my eating disorder, like
whatever.
I mean, body acceptance, or, how I eat, or any of that stuff. I'm for the most part, no, I don't want to say for the most part, I'm kind of halfway into like body acceptance. And it goes back and forth. And I still feel like I still hear that every day when I look at my body. I have to say, I still look at it and go, but I wish it was like this or like that, or wasn't aging.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is that whenever a thought comes in, that I can control it by, I have to do something severe. I know that's like, I'm like, no, I've worn that one out.
Yeah.
And then I go like, well, what's the best thing for me to do right now with this thought? And that's just like, well, just let it go, and just, you're okay the way you are right now, is just because this is it. It's sort of like, an acceptance. This is it. And this hurts. And like you were saying, right now my back is out. So,
yeah, that's hard to accept.
I'm just taking care of it. Like, I know how to take care of it. It's been out before,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll get better or not.
Right.
And so, yeah, as
Yeah, and
far as, yeah.
I really loved what you just said that we think, well, I only have a little bit of acceptance about this or that or another, but on the other hand, you can tell that there's a better difference in that you don't do anything. You just go. You could go on, never eat a carb again as long as you live, diet, or
Yeah, and that thought crosses my mind almost daily, Now,
yeah,
right now, the thing for me is, oh, you should be on a keto diet. And it's just like, what are you talking about?
right, exactly,
Why? Why is that a good idea?
yeah, yeah,
Well, it's supposed to be good for all these things, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know
yeah,
what? And it's contraindicated with someone who's ever had an eating disorder. So that,
exactly,
I think I said the right word there,
yeah,
contraindicated.
yes.
Yeah. It's like, so no.
It's the same. It's the
or
same.
hypoglycemia, which you have.
Right.
So
It's
no,
like the
move
same
along.
kind of thing as saying, "Oh, maybe I should do heroin. Those people are thin," Or it's not. Yeah, that's just a thought. That doesn't mean I'm out, San Francisco in the Tenderloin buying heroin tomorrow because it's the new diet. I think those thoughts are there. We're not going to get rid of them. They come and go. Same way with like, oh, I wish my body were different. Yeah, but you know what? It's not. Right now, it is what it is. This is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness I have
Exactly.
one because that lets me live here, right? You
Exactly.
don't get to
Which,
live here if you don't have a
yeah,
body.
right. That's kind of yes, a basic truth.
A basic truth. No body, no here. Sorry. You know, we haven't learned how to have a brain in a jar, and that's all we are. Yeah.
Right.
Anyways. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
anything else that you want to say about this acceptance thing right now?
Uh, well, since it's the holidays, I think I'll throw a little bit in on that for me, for anyone else who needs to kind of reiterate that this is traditionally, and where we live in America at least, kind of an insane place.
Yeah, definitely.
And all the sacredness that I believe, this kind of solstice season really represents is sort of blotted out with excess of, ridiculousness.
Yes.
Not that it's all bad, but I mean, it can kind of go crazy.
Yeah,
So, and I can go crazy, jump on that little sleigh ride myself and think,
exactly.
oh, I need to be spending all this money and eating all this food or avoiding all this food. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And like, who are we going to, every year there's this like, okay, how are we going to do Christmas? Where are we going to go? Who's going to be there? What, and there's all that. And so all of that's been swirling around for me. And, I'm trying to make room for acceptance that, and I always try to go, well, next year it's going to be better, and I'm going to do this and I do that. And yeah, there's little things I can do here and there to help it, but for the most part, I always seem to feel this stress around this time of year. And so once again, the question is, okay, so all this stuff is happening all around you. You're a sensitive person, even if you do try to make yourself, cut yourself completely away from it. That doesn't work either. So how are
Mm-hmm.
you going to take care? How are you going to take care of yourself? Because this is how it is right now.
Yep.
And it comes back to just being present with myself and being really kind and gentle and just knowing, okay, this is how you usually react. And, it's okay. I'm sorry. And what do we do today? And what do we want, how do we want to express the season? What does this season need to be about for you? And
Yep.
how do you connect with others with that? And
Right.
so just kind of taking my power back rather than letting all the narrative of the culture kind of went out.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Right. And I think
So,
about, I was telling somebody the other day, I really don't like the holidays. And when I heard myself say that, I thought, well, there's a lot of holidays. I don't like any of them. I don't like my birthday. I don't like, you know, whatever, St. Francis of Assisi Day. I don't like Grandma Day. I don't like, it's like, that's kind of a ridiculous thing to say. Why don't I just say some holidays are harder for me than others and just be
mhm.
okay? Because, that's not going to make Target not start selling Christmas products in, August. So I have to just kind of get over it. And
It's
it is what it
true.
is.
Yeah. And be kind to ourselves. That little part that says, I don't like it,
Yes.
because that's like for me, that's like a little kid that's just like,
Right.
I don't want to have to be busier than I already am. And it's like that little kid part needs some sort of, not everyone needs it, but I need it. I need to go, okay, what do you not like? I don't like it. Okay, I hear you. And well, we have to do this because we're not going to feel good if we don't. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't get something for my mother for Christmas, just because I'm in a bad mood right now, I'm not going to feel good about that. So
Right.
let's see what
Right.
we can do.
Right. Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
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 So,
Try to figure
yeah.
out how we can, have the holidays with grace and kindness and compassion for ourselves and others. Like, isn't that what it's kind of about anyway? But we forget all of that. So
Exactly. I heard. I'll interrupt you for a second.
go
I
ahead.
know, but
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast this morning from this woman. I really like her. Name is Tara Brack, and I think she's a wonderful Buddhist teacher. And
Mm-hmm.
she was calling the holidays the holy days, which
Mm-hmm.
is really for me, what I would like it to be, the holy days. How are you going to make this the holy days?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like asking myself a question about that helps me engage my creative thinking around it and helps me get more kind of excited about it rather
Right.
than like, oh, the holidays,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Paula, I'm thinking about that you have done that for a long time because you would always have a Yule log or you
I
would
did. I
bring
used to have a
that.
Yule log. Mm-hmm.
You would do that and we would do solstice together and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't give ourselves credit for stuff that we've just automatically done through the years that we forget that like, oh, I'm not doing very good this year,
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's okay.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
just to
Thanks.
wrap this acceptance up and throw it in the trash, no, and have it be something that we remember to do, I wonder if you will read the for today thing.
Oh, sure. Okay, so this is on the acceptance card, and it says, today I will practice accepting my body exactly as it is. When the desire to dislike or change my body comes up, I will say, I am learning to love and accept my body and myself exactly as I am right now.
Oh, God, that is so great. Really,
I
say that.
know.
I feel like if we say that every time, that it just gets so much easier.
Yes, and thank you so much for writing this beautiful card and all the cards, and this one is really awesome. And I love the picture of the deer and the person on the side at the beach. I think that's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So thank
thank
you,
you.
Laurelee.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here today. And we'll talk
you for
later.
everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Merry
All right. Take
Christmas.
care. Happy holy days.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you for listening. And be sure and follow me on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and itsnotaboutfood.com. Thanks.